Bugs are coming. Billions of bugs.
Get ready, all thanks to a combo of two separate types of cicadas that haven't bred at the same time since 1803.
It will be somewhat similar to what the Bible prophesied in the book of Revelation chapter 9 verses 2 and 3. The sun and sky were darkened by the smoke from the abyss, and out of the smoke locusts came down on the earth and were given power like that of scorpions of the earth. And just a couple of days ago, New York City, one of the largest cities in the world, experienced multiple earthquakes days before the solar eclipse.
Tonight with the breaking news, the aftershocks felt just moments ago in New York City and beyond after that earthquake hit this morning, a 4.8 magnitude earthquake.
Just 2 days after the world was stunned by that catastrophic earthquake in Taiwan comes a quake right here in New York City. At 10:23 a.m., the Big Apple was rattled. 4.8 magnitude earthquake.
This is crazy. Earthquake just shake Manhattan just now.
At the United Nations headquarters, the tremors interrupted a Security Council meeting on Gaza.
Education is...
You're making the ground shake.
Networks interrupted programming with the breaking news.
The earthquake this morning rocking millions from Maryland right up to Maine, triggering confusion at first and then alarm. Ground stops at New York airports. The epicenter in New Jersey, some 40 miles west of New York City, 60 miles north of Philadelphia, the strongest in the area in more than 100 years.
It is interesting to see those earthquakes happening in major cities around the world just days before the solar eclipse. Some might call it coincidence, others might beg to differ. Now, if you think about all those earthquakes in the book of Revelation, which is the book of the end times in the Bible, and there are references in that book that talk about 5 major earthquakes. In Revelation chapter 6 verses 12 through 14, the Apostle John talks about the great earthquake. In Revelation chapter 8 and verse 5, the Apostle John talks about the second earthquake. In Revelation 11 verse 13, John talks about the earthquake caused by the 6th trumpet. In Revelation 11 and verse 19, we see the 4th earthquake caused by the 7th trumpet. And finally, in Revelation 16 and verse 18, we see the 5th and final earthquake, which will be the greatest earthquake that this world has ever seen, as described by John in the book of Revelation. Now, I want to point out the fact that exactly 7 years ago, there was an eclipse that went over America, and its path will cross with this upcoming eclipse, and there may be an important message that God may be communicating to the world through the celestial signs. Watch this.
There was an eclipse that took place 7 years ago, went right across America. There's another eclipse coming right across America. It'll make a perfect cross on the center of the nation.
God made the first sign go through 7 cities named Salem on August 21st, 2017.
The word Salem, according to the Bible, is peace. So God is saying 7 times he offered peace. The next eclipse is coming. It goes through several cities here. Nineveh, 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 Nineveh. Jonah gave Nineveh 40 days. God said you've got 40 days to repent. Only the sign of Jonah will be shown to you, and that's right here now. This eclipse is programmed at the time of creation, right? These 2 eclipses were programmed by God in creation at the time of creation, and it only unfolded now, at this very moment in our time. And then God arranged for certain people to build these cities exactly where that path of that eclipse was going to go. 7 and 7. 7 cities called Salem, 7 cities called Nineveh, and 7 years apart. Is God talking to us? Now, it also goes over a city called Cross, and there's the cross. Right in the center of the cross is a city called Rapture. Elijah was caught up in a whirlwind in Rapture. Enoch was raptured, and is still in heaven right now waiting to be one of the 2 prophets during the 7-year tribulation period. So God is giving us a message. We'll talk about this message. What is God's message? Besides, the obvious thing is that he's coming very soon. I've got 40 days. We've got to repent and seek God like never before. He's coming very, very soon.
Now, many people around the world would think that this event will usher in the tribulation and the second coming of the Son of Man, as prophesied by Jesus Christ himself in Matthew 24 verse 29, where Jesus says the sun will be darkened and the moon will not give its light and the stars will fall from the sky and the powers of the heavens will be shaken. And there have been the sound of many trumpets multiple times around the world.
The strange sounds were heard across Terrace, BC early yesterday morning and lasted for about 10 minutes.
For about a week there, the area's been plagued by loud, booming sounds. Problem is, no one knows where the sound is coming from.
We were like looking at each other like, what was that?
Dodge County, people wondering
What was it?
Strange sounds are being heard around the world. In Sweden, this sure sounds like a trumpet.
Zephaniah 1:14, the noise of the day of the Lord is bitter. Zephaniah 1:15, the day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of devastation and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness. Joel 2, the sun will be turned to darkness, the moon to blood before the coming of the great and terrible day of the Lord. It is the day of final judgment. Listen to Isaiah 2:12. For the day of the Lord of hosts shall come upon everything proud and lofty, upon everything lifted up, and it'll be brought low. Isaiah 13:6. Wail, for the day of the Lord is at hand. Isaiah 13:9. Behold, the day of the Lord comes, cruel, with both wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate.
In Syria and Iraq are facing water shortages as the region's longest river, the Euphrates, dries up.
Which is a clear biblical prophetic sign of the day of the Lord as prophesied in Isaiah 11 verse 15, Isaiah 19 verse 5, and Revelation 16 verse 12. All of that caused millions of people around the world, including Christians, to wonder if the day of the Lord, the second coming of the Son of Man, will soon be upon us.
1 Thessalonians chapter 5. You can look at it for a moment. The day of the Lord will come like a thief in the night, verse 2. It'll come, verse 3, with destruction. The day of the Lord is coming with destruction. Good, the Antichrist is ruling the world. The one world ruler has brought peace, and false peace, to the world. The first half will be a time of false peace, basically orchestrated by this demonic Antichrist. But when everybody's saying peace and safety, destruction will come on them suddenly like labor pains upon a woman with child, and they will not escape. This is the day of the Lord. The Lord will bring it all to an end in crushing final judgment. But, verse 4, you, brethren, are not in darkness, that the day would overtake you like a thief. You're all sons of light and sons of day, not of the night or the darkness. That doesn't apply to you. The rapture in chapter 4, you're out, you're gone. Then the day of the Lord comes, the day of darkness, the day of judgment.